Okay guys, so as you can see from these three clips, Alyssa steps into the angled shot in a narrow stance, but as the shot comes, she quickly jumps into that wide stance. Now, while she is making the saves in that wider stance, notice the location of those saves. They're in an area that I like to call the reach-only zone. This is what the reach-only zone looks like. Notice how when Armando jumps into that wide stance, his feet are now rooted to the ground, which means he can no longer pick them up. Because of this, he can only stretch his arms as far as they can reach, and by the time he repositions his feet, the ball is already past him. This wide stance limits and delays your lateral movement, and that can slow you down when you need that extra half second to make the save. Now, I want to show you guys a few more examples of this. Notice in these next two clips how Alyssa uses the same wide stance technique, but now the balls are being hit out of her reach zone. Because her feet are in that wide stance, she now becomes immobile and she's limited to her reach. Lastly, let's take a look at Ryan's feet as he prepares for this shot. As he steps forward, he jumps into a wide stance. And as you can see when we slow-mo the clip, that wide jump takes away all of his power from his legs. Now, because of this, he doesn't have time to reposition his feet back into that narrow stance where he would be able to get a power step off. And as a result, he can't get any extra push to his legs and he ends up falling as far as his arms can reach.
Right, too close to your near post.
So, one way to combat this bad wide jump habit is to constantly remind yourself to keep your jumps small and shoulder width apart. After watching film with Armando, we were able to apply those two concepts in these next few reps. First, let's take a look at his small jump. With it, he's able to release the pressure off of his feet and keep them active. This small jump allows him to get his feet back to the ground in time to take a power step. By doing this, he keeps his legs in the equation, and now his body is moving together instead of being split like we see with a wider stance. Next, notice how his legs are shoulder width apart before the shot and only slightly wider after the shot is taken. While that wide stance limited him to a reaching zone, this narrower approach now gives him the ability to use either foot to power step as far as he needs to. This helps him break out of that zone and extend his reach. Now let's watch these next few clips and see how this new technique is working out for Armando. Remember, it's not going to come easy. It has taken Armando a few months of consistently reminding himself to stay disciplined with this new approach. Try this in training and message me if you guys feel a difference in your technique and shot stopping ability.